welcome to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. I'm your host, Caroline Georges, and welcome today. I'm back. I kind of took a hiatus for a minute. The reason why is I'm stripping again. The job that I had was seasonal, and I was let go after the holidays, and I was really disappointed, and I was so disappointed. That job, if it had worked out, would have really helped me in just being able to be independent without stripping. And, but it didn't. And, so I went and I auditioned at a club that's, it's in Beverly Hills, and, rich clientele, and, it's not a bad club. And, I don't know. I really wish, I talk about this kind of a lot, the whole thing about strippers, and I really hate when people project negative stereotypes about strippers, and especially when women do it, and women do it the most, it seems like, or it's louder when women do it. I hear it so much louder when women do it, when women dismiss sex workers as being less than, as being the butt of the joke, as being stupid, as being crazy, as being whores, as being promiscuous, all of these horrible things that, people associate with strippers is what people are going to associate with me, and I can't put stripper on a resume. The 4 years that I was stripping full time, and I didn't have any other means of employment or any other place of employment. In the past, I always tried avoiding that. I always tried having another job besides stripping, like working at a coffee shop, working at a restaurant, doing something besides stripping, because I needed something to prove that I wasn't a stripper, and that was that. And so, but when I went back to stripping, I was working as an assistant to an art director, and I was really unhappy. It was like 16-hour days. It was 6 days a week. It was just constantly work, and more work. And I had no time to be creative. I had no time to be, because when you're an assistant to an art director, you're basically just a decorator, which is fun. I love decorating, and I'm good at it. And it was definitely a job I was good at and I could do. But, I was really unhappy. I was really, really miserable and unhappy. And I wanted to write. I wanted to do comedy. I wanted to pursue creative endeavors that were, I saw so many girls, doing the things that they wanted to do. I was just seeing it all over the place. There were girls doing the shit that they wanted to do, and that they had the means of being able to do it. And I didn't. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. And I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, and stripping was what was going to allow me to do the things that I wanted to do. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to be a stripper, and I'm going to be a comedian, and I'm going to write, and I'm going to be a filmmaker, and I'm going to do all of these things, and stripping is going to help me do that, because stripping has always been able to help me do whatever I wanted to do. I wouldn't have been able to have made it through school without stripping. I wouldn't have been able to settle down in Los Angeles without stripping. I wouldn't have been able to get this apartment without stripping. Everything that I've ever needed, stripping had provided for. And it's, maybe I shouldn't be depressed, and maybe I should just be grateful. I have a source of income. I have a job that's there for me, that whenever I need it, whenever I'm in a bind, I can always go and I can always strip, and I can always make a little bit of money to get by. I can always do that, and but you deal with some really abusive guys. You see the worst of men. You see the worst of men in strip clubs. The worst of them. And there's a lot to being able to be in a position of being able to dominate men like that. I've never been able to do that outside of stripping. And it's just like with a comic that sexually assaulted me, it's just like, he won the battle, he won the battle. it's just, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like I failed. I feel like a failure. But I can't put stripper on a resume. I can't put people-to-people skills on a resume. I can't put, like, any of the things that I do as a stripper that, are actually discernible skills. You know what I mean? It's not easy convincing guys into, like, giving you money for nothing. You know what I mean? It's not easy. That's fucking hard. It's not easy. You know what kind of, like, I have to just be like, come on, let's do this. Let's go make money. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I have to get in with that attitude. I'm a fucking linebacker when I go out on the floor. You know what I mean? I'm there to win. And when I go out on the floor with that attitude, I do sometimes. I do, kind of quite often. I really wish the world didn't look down on me for being a stripper. The world didn't want to exclude me for being a stripper. That the world didn't want to look away from me because I'm a stripper. That I could use being a stripper as I could put that on a resume. For 4 years, I worked at this club. I got along with everybody. The managers loved me, and I made money stripping. And I made money being personable, and I made money being charming, and I made money by being smart, Why can't I use that to get a job? A job that's not stripping. And, and just like the women who have shit on strippers, have shit on sex workers, have projected the idea that sex workers are good for nothing and are stupid and can't accomplish anything else other than sex work. The women that do that, fuck you. Fuck you. What are you doing to me? Look what you're doing to me. You're putting nails in my coffin. Why are you doing that to me? What have I ever done to you? Stop shitting on me because I'm a sex worker. So the reason why I haven't been doing vlogs is because I've just been super depressed. I've been super unhappy. I that's not true. It's just the days that I have to work, there's a dark cloud looming over my day. I have to work tonight. I'm going to go to some mics. I'm going to go to my friend's show at the Comedy Store, and I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go strip. One of the days I worked, this is what I do. When women come onto the club and they don't spend money or they act like bitches, I ask them if they're feminists. And they always say yes. They're not feminists. Feminism is probably the weakest force in society today because it is so filled with contradiction and contradictory behavior. That women that claim they are for female empowerment, that they stand for women, shit on sex workers. Feminism is weak. Feminism is kind of bullshit. Feminism is creating more problems than it's solving. I'm just, I have comedy, and that's been going pretty good, I guess. I got a show, and I was out of town, and the booker paid for my hotel room, and it paid for me to come out to the city to do a show in the city. For me to do 3 minutes, to feature in a show for 3 minutes. And it's like, I have to be real. What is this guy's intentions? Why is he rolling out the red carpet for me? And I posted photos from me performing in the show on my Instagram, and I got a lot of people questioning why I was there, asking me who the booker was and that sort of thing. And I realized, like, you know what, maybe I don't want people thinking that I'm sleeping with people to get booked. So maybe I shouldn't post a show. I don't know, that's just how I felt, so I took it down. I don't want people thinking that I'm sleeping with anyone to get booked. And the comics that I am seeing right now, you know, I love comics. I know, it's just kind of like, I kind of came to the realization, like, oh, I'm a comedy slut. I only date comics. I pretty much only date comics. And it's like, well, you know, I'm a comedian, and these are the guys I'm meeting, these are the guys I'm running into, and these are the guys that I'm talking to. So, of course, I'm only dating comics. But it's like, I don't know. I hooked up with this one guy who, you know, he's pretty, you know, he's really nice and stuff like that, but he's friends with my sexual assailant, you know. And I just, like, and when I found that out, I was just kind of like, I'm not going to tell him. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him that he's friends with somebody who sexually assaulted me. I didn't tell him. And, I don't want to date seriously while I'm stripping. I just think, in my experience, guys that like strippers and guys that want to date strippers tend to be bad news. And, so I'm just going to be a libertine. I'm just going to date. I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to go about things that way, you know, until I'm out of stripping again. And, I'm not going to cry, but yeah. This is where I'm at. This is where the story is going, you know, as I'm back to stripping. I haven't moved on. I haven't reached that milestone yet. I got thrown back. And it's a setback. And but my plan is I want to become a personal trainer. I'm a good teacher. You know what I mean? I've taught before. And I feel like personal training would be a really great excuse to get healthy. It'd be a really great excuse to get sober. It would be a job that would pressure me to be healthy and to be sober. And, you know, and I know other comics that do it and are able to support their comedy career, you know, with being a personal trainer, you know. And so I have to raise $1,700 to do personal training. So you know what that means. I'm going to have to hustle. I'm going to have to become a little sociopath. I'm going to have to hustle. And I'm going to have to do what I'm going to have to do. I'm going back for another tour. It's, stripping is my Vietnam, and I'm going to go back, and I am going to, you know, do what I have to do. And that's just it. That is just it. I'm going to have to do what I have to do in order for me to move on from stripping, and then I'll be done with stripping, and I'll never have to do it ever again, and everything will be good, you know? But tonight, I'm going to have to go and give lap dances, and I don't want to do that anymore. It upsets me. It bothers me. It is weird for me. I get tired. You know what? That's the thing. People think stripping is a hard job. You know what? Try doing this. You know, I'm lap dancing. Try doing this for, like, on a guy's lap for, like, half an hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. You have to move your stomach. Like, it's a good workout, I mean, for sure, but at the same time, doing it for a half an hour, I mean, it's so exhausting. You're so tired, and then, like, and then on top of that, you have to think about playing mind games with people and that sort of thing. So it's like you have that on top of everything else, so you're physically exhausted, and mentally, you have to, like, concoct a scheme of getting a guy to fall in love with you and give you shit tons of money, you know, and it's just, I can't put that on a resume. Thanks, women. Anyways, I'm back. I'm gonna keep doing vlogs, and I'm gonna keep checking in with where I'm at, and I want everyone to continue with this story for me. You know, I'm a work in progress, and I want to show people that people can change and that people can move on and people can change their lives for the better, and I want to show that with my own life, and I just can't do that now. I just can't do that right now. And there's a lot of laws and a lot of restrictions that make stripping really hard. That make stripping a lot harder than it needs to be. And, you know, and I just, I really hope women, feminists, start embracing sex workers and start embracing women who are in sex work for whatever reasons that they're in it, whether they're stuck in it, whether they've chosen it, whether they've chosen it and gotten stuck in it. I mean, I really hope feminists stop shitting on sex workers and stop giving sex workers a hard time. Anyways, that's my vlog for today. Have a lovely afternoon. Like and subscribe and share and support the Patreon. Actually, I am now going to put up a Patreon account. That's very important. That's very vital. If anyone can donate, it's all going to go to me in the whole personal training thing. I don't think I can afford to, I mean, I'm not going to be able to afford to do episodes, which is unfortunate because I have some really great guests lined up, you know, and for when I can start doing episodes again. And, yeah, so the Patreon is going to go to whatever donations I get from the Patreon. If I get any, it's just going to go straight to the personal training thing. So please donate. If all of my subscribers, all 100 of you, donate $20, then that pays for my personal training. And I feel weird asking. But it's like, I'm working, I'm doing this. This is work. This is something I'm doing that's, you know, creative and is work. You know what I mean? It's like people will give me $20 for a lap dance. Give me $20 if you're enjoying these episodes. Give me $20 for all of these vlogs that I'm putting out and all these episodes that I'm putting out. They're really expensive. And I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to put up my Patreon. Never mind. I can do this. I can make my own money. I don't need to accept donations. And I'm gonna buy my way out of slavery, you know. This is what it feels like. It feels like slavery. It feels like I'm just, I don't know. When I got really depressed, I felt like I was just, my body was a coffin that I was stuck in, you know. And while I was feeling that way, I had so many men putting nails in my coffin and hurting me and using me. And that's really hard. When you're at your weakest and you're most heartbroken and you have people sinking their teeth into you. And that's always when it seems to happen. When you're at your weakest. And I'm trying to be strong here. I'm trying to be so strong here. And people don't care. The world doesn't care. If you're not strong enough to fight back against the things that are coming at you, the world doesn't care. It's going to keep coming at you. And the world doesn't care, people don't care, and men do not care about me and what I'm going through, and that's what it feels like. Anyways, look, that is my vlog for today. And I'm sorry that I'm sort of melancholy and stuff, but this is real. This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing, and I'm really unhappy with what I'm going through. I'm really not happy about stripping again. And, yeah. So, that's that. Like and subscribe and share. And, look, if I put up a Patreon, please donate. It will really help. And, thanks so much. Bye.